Hey, Kim Tucker here with KCM Homebuyer. I'm in front of one of the houses we bought this year. It was a vacant house when we bought it, and today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the hidden cost of owning a vacant house. Now, a lot of people end up with a vacant house. We see a lot of reasons. This particular house, the homeowner had moved to a nursing home. We talked to the neighbors, and the neighbors said he just recently celebrated his 105th birthday, which is pretty amazing. But what's also amazing is that this house sat vacant for 4 years. 4 years. And if you own a vacant house, you have a lot of expenses that you realize that you have because you write a check for them every month. You might pay a check for the mortgage. You might write a check for the gas bill or the electric bill or the water bill. Or even on this house, we wrote a check every month while it was vacant. Well, not every month, every week. We paid $50 to mow the yard. But there's a lot of hidden costs that come with owning a vacant house that if you don't pay it out every single month or every single week as we did with the grass, you really don't notice that you have these expenses until, a year later, you're like writing a big check for the whole year. So I wanted to take a minute to talk to you a little bit about some of the hidden costs. And one of the hidden costs, especially on this house, sitting vacant for over 4 years. Let me see if I can turn around here and you can take a look at this big tree. So this is a well-established tree. If you can imagine, of just a few short weeks ago, this snow was a foot deep with oak leaves. So one hidden cost is just the, mowing, the trimming of the trees, the bushes, raking up the leaves. But in the particular case of this tree is an well-established tree, but it was completely covered in English ivy, and the ivy was choking it out and it was killing the tree. We think we've saved the tree, but the person we bought it from, his son, had actually gone out and talked to a tree guy to find out how much it would cost to cut down this tree. So taking down this beautiful oak tree would be a horrible thing to do, but if he didn't want to deal with the ivy and it was going to fall down on the neighbor's house, the neighbor's car, our house, he didn't want to deal with a tree falling down, so he went out and got some bids on cutting it down, and it was $5,000. I'm sure that bid, which we got secondhand from the neighbor, also included some of the other trees in the backyard. But just a yard that's overgrown, that hasn't been maintained for 4 years, you're going to have a huge expense in cleaning up the mess, trimming the bushes, cutting down the trees, trimming out the dead wood, and this one had an expense of about $5,000. Another hidden expense is, take a look around here. See all the snow? As you can imagine, it's kind of cold out here. This morning when I got up on my cell phone, it said it was 16 degrees outside. So another hidden cost that you might not think about are frozen pipes. We've bought several houses where the homeowners never thought about dealing with frozen pipes, and to save money, they shut off the gas, which shut off the heat, and when they didn't shut off the water and winterize the house as well, the pipes ended up being frozen, and the frozen pipes burst. They got water everywhere, and they ended up with a huge bill to fix the damaged drywall, the damaged floors, the exploded toilets. So another hidden cost is frozen pipes. I'm going to take a break here while this airplane flies over, and I'll come back to you in just a second. Hey, I'm back with you again. This house is in the Northland. We're not too far from the airport, so we do have airplanes flying over from time to time. I'm here talking to you about the hidden costs of owning a vacant house, and another hidden cost of owning a vacant house is the cost of insurance, and the fact that the typical landlord policy or the typical homeowner policy, if there's a claim and the house has been vacant for more than 30 days, the typical policy is not going to pay out. They're going to deny your claim, and you're just going to be out all that money you paid for insurance premiums, and you're not going to get any money to pay for whatever it is that happens. Tree falls through the roof, house gets broken into and vandalized, it's been vacant for more than 30 days, and you don't have the appropriate kind of insurance, and all of a sudden you have invalid insurance. For this particular house, we pay, for all of our houses when they're vacant, we buy what we call a vacant policy insurance or a builder's risk insurance. We figure on average for every $100,000 that we insure in value that it costs us $100 a month. So if you have a house that's worth $250,000, you're going to be paying about $200 to $250 a month for a vacant insurance policy on that house. So if you get nothing else out of this video and you have a vacant house, please consult with your insurance agent to make sure that you have the right coverage. So that's it for, some of the hidden cost. So let's talk about this house. What was it costing as a vacant property? Let's start with the yard. Throughout the summer, probably starting in April through last week when they were still mowing weekly to take up leaves, we were paying $550 a week, which is $200 a month. Write that down, $200 a month. For this particular house, we had it insured for right around $200,000, so we're paying about $200 a month in insurance. Utilities. If it's sitting vacant, you're not going to pay a lot in utilities. Probably somewhere between $75 and $100 a month was what we were paying. On the really hotter days in the summertime, we had higher bills because we had contractors in the house from time to time, or in the wintertime, keeping the heat on is going to cost you a little bit more when it's colder outside. But some other things that you might not think about that's hidden, it's part of that mortgage payment that you might be paying, but if you're not paying a mortgage payment, you won't think about it, are real estate taxes. So for this house, we're going to pay an annual real estate tax in one check, but if it was paid monthly, it's $300 a month. We don't have an HOA fee here, but you might have a house that does. And all in all, this house, sitting vacant, on average was costing the previous homeowner between, I would say, $650 and $700 a month. Now imagine writing out a check for $650 to $700 a month every month, and in the case of this house, for 4 years. So if you have a vacant house, you're thinking about selling, give us a call, see what we could offer. Maybe we can save you that $650 to $700 a month in expenses that you're paying out on a house that's sitting vacant. Thanks. Talk to you next time.